Thinker Television, brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter, Peterson Toyota and Toyota Trucks, moving forward. Coldwell Banker, every day until it's sold. St. Croix Ride, best rides on earth. Evinrude, spend more time on the water. Good morning. Welcome to Fishful Thinker. I'm Chad LaChance. We appreciate you joining us as always. Speaking of appreciation, right here, Mr. Kris Johnson in the boat with us. Good morning, Kris. Appreciate you having us here.
Excellent to have you.
We're on Navajo Reservoir. We're in southern Colorado, northern New Mexico, depending on exactly where we go. We're on the little baby Lake Powell, Navajo Reservoir. Right. It's February, believe it or not. We drove through a blizzard to get here, and we're going pike fishing. We're going to be looking for giant pikes. What do you expect out of the day?
Some giant pike, that's what I'm hoping for, yeah, for sure.
There you go, confidence is key. We got some big baits. Gentleman works with Dynamic Lure Company based out of Colorado. Big swim baits, we're gonna try a few different things. This is gonna be a fun show. I think we should get after them. February swim bait, who'd have thunk it?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Good times, all right, here we go. Thanks for guys hanging in there. Fish.
Nice. Oh, good one too.
All right, now right off the bat, we got a big old thumper.
I like it.
Got the jerkbait out. That is my fourth cast right here. My fourth cast. Kris, I don't think you were messing around about that. And confidence bait right here on Navajo.
Looking good
37-degree water. And right off the bat, I have, it's a horse too. Look at this thing right off the bat. Kris, give me some knuckles right there. That's
head
what
first.
I'm talking about. And he ate that thing head first. And you know what happened, folks? The bait went slack. There was a little tension on it, and then the line just went totally slack. I reeled down on it, and there was no tension. That fish ate that bait head first, came straight to me. And holy smokes.
He doesn't even have a hook in him. He's just...
It's my fourth cast, guys. I'm like a brand new lake. I got a confidence bait, as we always preach on Fishful Thinker. Get what you know will work. I got an oversized jerkbait out. This happens to be a big old Lucky Craft Pointer 128. And fourth cast, there it is. There's the big bait right there. Fluorocarbon leader, no steel, and that's a nice start right off the bat. I mean, I think we'll get bigger than that, but that's a good start. I gotta hold him and give him a kiss here. Oh, that's a nice one. All right. Kris Johnson coming through right off the bat. That's a gorgeous fish. And that's exactly what we're looking for, and we're hoping to get a whole bunch of those before the day's over. But if we can get a start like that, I will take it. Nice stuff. All right, there you go. First pike of the year here down in Navajo right off the bat. We'll get him put back here and roll him up here. Woo! Oh man. Kris is telling us, well, actually the depth finder's telling us that the water's 36, 37, maybe 38 degrees, about 37 and change. We expect fish are gonna be lethargic because of that, so we'll kind of see how it goes. I've got a jerkbait that I'm starting with. What are you throwing to start off?
I'm throwing a Dynamic Dynamo, 7-inch swim bait.
7-inch swim bait. What's that thing weigh?
Weighs 2 ounces.
With
the weight I got on it.
So, Kris, I know you spent a lot of time down here, and I hadn't been to this lake, and so, you know, you made it look easy. We came down, we caught one right off the bat. What are some of the keys to the spots that you fish in the wintertime? And again, it's late February, so, you know, it's definitely early. What are some of the keys to finding them? Or missing them, as the case might be.
What we're doing here is at Navajo in the winter, I fish at either a point or a cove. I'm looking for main lake points, main lake coves. With this area we're fishing, this is a main lake point. We got the main channel right here. We're fishing some isolated sticks, stick rows, and this point comes out a long ways. We metered the outside of the point through some buoys, and we're just fishing isolated structure right now. Water's cold, like Chad said, it's 37 degrees. These fish are semi-lethargic. They're not really chasing too far, so the key to right now is some pauses and suspending baits. That's the key.
Well, there you go. I know that first bite right off the bat. Boom! We got that one right there. There we go. That one's staying right on the paws, just like he's supposed to.
There we go. That one looks like it's got more weight.
No, I don't know. I can tell you that this one actually thumped it. So now, guys, I think I'm up to like 8 casts. And this is a little guy, and he thumped it. Well, maybe he ain't a little guy. He's pretty nice. We'll swim around this side of the motor here. Come on around the motor. There we go. All right, now I'll bring him alongside. Now this guy parked the bait. There was no question about that. Easy there, easy.
He's alive now.
They're toothy critters. No one told this guy it was wintertime. Careful with the plugs there. He got him. Nice, 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 nice. Look at the belly on this one.
He's eating. There you go.
Got him.
Look at that fat belly.
Look at the belly on this fish. Holy smokes, dude. Look at that. Easy there, Cheetah. Big old belly on him. What a beautiful, beautiful Navajo pike. And he wants back, so we're going to be quick about putting him back, because look at that thing.
He's eating.
Gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Here you go, buddy. See ya. Woo. Baby, I'm telling you. 8 casts, maybe, 2 fish, bam, that's how you do it. That's good stuff right there.
That's
you
right.
know, he's been promising us for weeks, if we come down here, we'd catch some pike, and I've always wanted to come to Navajo. Great smallmouth lake. He's showing us pictures of smallmouth, 5+ pounds, and I've seen hundreds of pictures of him with monster pike, and I guess you're paying the bills, man.
This is the spot right here.
He's a licensed guide in Colorado, not here, but up in Colorado, and I could see why a trip with you might be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how we do it. Middle of
That's
February.
it. All right. Just came off another successful day on the water, and I'll tell you what, as much time as I spend on the water, I've had ample opportunity over the last couple of years to really fall in love with all of my Evinrude outboards. But what is it about Evinrude that I like? A couple of key things. One, they're very, very quiet. As a professional fishing guide, I have all kinds of people in my boat all the time. A quiet outboard lets us have conversations with our family and our clients and our friends, and without being intrusive. So that's a key thing. Another key thing, no smoke. None of that obnoxious blue smoke and emissions coming out of this motor. It's the cleanest burning outboard you can buy. Very, very, very efficient, clean burning motor. In fact, you can run this thing indoors at the boat shows. It's the only motor that you can do so. Another really key thing about the Evinrude E-Tech that I like is 300 hours with no maintenance, which means I can keep my Ranger boat on the lake. I'm not constantly having a thing in the shop to do maintenance or anything like that on it. So that's another really key thing that I like about it. But one of the best things about an Evinrude E-Tech outboard here, especially in the mountains of Colorado, is a self-winterization feature. If I get a 30-day window of really cold weather, I can winterize this motor by sequencing the keypad on the Ranger boat. It will winterize itself, and then I can go unwinterize it and put it right back in the water without ever having to take it to the shop. So if I get a nice warm day in January or February, which is common here in the Mountain West, I can put this boat back in the water and go do some fishing with it. So the self-winterization is a really key thing. When you really look at the overall big picture, an Evinrude E-Tech is a great motor at altitude like this, where we're at almost 6,000 feet in elevation, tons of horsepower, tons of torque, plenty of motivation for this Ranger boat. The way I see the Evinrude outboard, it's the total package. So, as you were just saying before we just caught that one, the pause is the deal, and that fish bit right on the pause, right? I mean, as you're saying, they bite on the pause,
right.
He bites. That's the case in cold water. Boom! Oh, I missed him, I just got bit right there. See if he'll come back. I'm just gonna pause it there. That's often the case on cold water fish, is the pause is the deal.
Exactly.
It's not the jerk, it's the pause. And that's, they call it a jerk bait, they ought to call it a pause bait, because more fish are caught on the pause. But it's the jerk that gets their attention, it's the pause that gets them to bite.
Exactly. What we're doing right now is, I think the reaction of the lure is bringing them up to them, and it's the pause and the suspend.
So easy to catch.
It's letting it just sit there in their face and they eat it. That's been how it is. It's been like that all winter long.
So a lot of guys are going to look and say, well, geez, you got a big spinning rod with a huge jerkbait. This jerkbait I'm fishing is 6 inches long. It's a big, heavy jerkbait. I've always been a proponent of jerkbaits on spinning rods because I like to throw them on braided line, and it's not particularly heavy braided line. And I like the way they cast better. I just feel like they fit my hand and they cast better. So this is actually a 6'6" medium heavy Legend Elite spinning rod. So it's a big, stiff spinning rod. This is not a little, you know, thin, lightweight spinning rod by any stretch. It's got 20-pound tracer braid on it, and then a size 20 Sauron. So I've got a real heavy spinning rod setup, or relatively heavy. I've got 30-pound fluorocarbon on the front of it. And it's actually strand tinted fluorocarbon that I use for saltwater, but the Pike seems to work real good with Pike as well. Very few problems ever getting broke off. Kris, what do you basically set up? What are you running for line, and kind of what's your rundown on pound test and
I
all
fish
that?
20-pound main line. I'm fishing Shimano Corsair 300 reel. I've got 80-pound Genkai leader on, fluorocarbon leader on. I don't fish steel. I fish straight mono or fluorocarbon. I'm fishing just a dynamo with a little bit of weight on the bottom. This particular one I've got some red dots on. Don't think it matters too much. Confidence bait, like Chad always says. And 8-foot swim bait rod, medium heavy, and pretty basic gear.
And I can see, you can see it on the graph, 14.2, right? Boom, got that one. All right, there's Pike number 3. I think I might be up to 30 casts now. and he just train wrecked it. Just as I was saying, we ought to move shallower again, because the first bites were up shallow, and we got another one that leaned on this bait. We're, oh, it's another nice one, dude.
I see it, yeah.
He's not as big as that first one, I don't think. Look at him, look at the lethargic in the cold water. I'm gonna try to get him around, come around this side here. Or actually, we'll get him over here. Look at the way he's got that bait. He's got it all messed up in his mouth right there. Careful with that one, Kris. Look at that. You're handling things like Nate. Got him on the front hook. That fish was really quick. Now that's just a tyke. I go, you got it on pliers? Yeah. That's just a wee little tyke for compared to what we've caught so far, but oh, he choked that thing, didn't he?
Yeah, he wanted this.
He thumped it. That guy absolutely thumped it. Now that's that is good. One's a fluke, two's a theory, three's a pattern.
There you go.
I'm gonna go ahead and kiss that one for good luck right on top of him. And yeah, he's a wee little one, so we'll hope he'll grow up and do something beautiful. Big fins on him. I love Pike, dude. They're such cool fish. Big old teeth always on Pike. Yeah, you can go ahead and put him back. It's all right. Hopefully we'll do better than that. But man, more knuckles. You ain't lying. We've been here. Not long, folks. I'm not kidding you. That might have been my 30th cast. I mean, it's we're definitely not an hour into our day yet, and there's 30-pound leader that long, and then that oversized jerkbait right there, and give you some size reference so get an idea right there. It's a pretty good sized bait. It's not monstrous, but it's definitely paying the rent so far this morning. Now it's funny because where we're sitting, we're in what? 13.5, 14 feet of water right on your buoy here.
Yep.
50 yards that way, it's 100 feet. I mean, literally, it just drops, just like these cliffs you see behind us. That's what's going on. That's common in canyon impoundments. You know, you go to Lake Powell or Mead or here or any of the others, any of the canyon lakes, you get those big drop-offs, that big giant depth changes. That's probably the main San Juan River channel right there.
Exactly, yeah.
And so that gives the fish immediate access to all the depth they need. They've got this shallow point with a brush on it. It's just a classic spot for an ambush feeder to come spend some time. Yeah, and you know, for me, part of fishing is the enjoyment, or part of the enjoyment of fishing is the prediction, knowing. Like I knew when you pull up on a spot and you've got confidence based on what your experience with the spot, I look at it and go, well, this fits anything that my brain would tell me. I've got a confidence bait that I know fish like. You just know it's going to work. You know, you just sit there and go, I know we're going to catch fish here. And that confidence is what really, now they might be out here in 14 or 18 foot, they might be up there in 9, but there's fish somewhere right around here, and just that confidence also gives you the ability to fish slow. Boom! All right, and our host is on the swim bait. Nice, now it gets to be my chance to handle a fish, and that's never pretty. Big toothy fish, and he's got the big swim bait rod out, so this is going to be fun right here, guys.
Same,
What'd you get there, Kris?
Same size.
Right here. Now I got to see this. Now this is on that big dynamic dynamo bait that you seem to be married to. So we're going to see how this thing looks coming around here. All right, and I'll see about grabbing him on top of the head. I'm not near as graceful with Pike as other folks that we deal with, but we'll see about it. bring him up here, get him over here, and we got him.
Yeah, boy.
Right there we go. Swim over here, you got him? Okay, there you go, nice. Now, they say big baits for big bites, and that fish isn't any bigger than the others. I'll let you get him out of here, but he still choked that big bait. And another beautiful fish though. And we still haven't moved the boat, guys. We've been fishing for about not even an hour, probably 30 to 40 minutes. We haven't moved the boat other than to just go in little circles and boom, look at him go.
He's all on fire.
He's ready to go, but let me see your bait here. Let's talk about this bait real quick. And
the 7-inch.
Okay.
Dynamic dynamo.
Okay, it's got 3 segments.
Triple jointed.
Got a diving lip on it.
Got a little diving lip. I've got some lead weight on the bottom. I'm using Storm suspend strips. I think I've got about 6 or 7 on here.
Just to hold it down?
Just to hold it down, get it down a little deeper. We're fishing 13, 14 feet of water. I just want to skim right over the top of those bushes, and he ate it again on the pause.
On the pause, beautiful. 100%. Nice call, dude, nice call. Our hands are going to be sore from fist bumping the way we're going today. So the one thing, if you're not going to use steel leaders and you're going to use fluorocarbon like we are, it doesn't take a very long leader. A little short leader's fine. I got 30-pound strand fluorocarbon. The one thing that's really important is you need to check it constantly for nicks. That last fish I caught put one little tooth mark in my fluorocarbon, and it doesn't take much to reduce its strength. So I'm going to retie it a lot. I'm going to keep it real short. Like I said, the leader's only that long, so it's not much of a leader. Just to keep their teeth off of the main line is all I really want to do. I don't want to impede casting with it or anything like that. So nice heavy knot. Got it joined with a uni knot at this end. Real strong system. We've used it all the time on Fishful Thinker. You've seen it before probably, and it's a great way to catch all kinds of fish from saltwater to trout in the river. But the braided line fluorocarbon leader combo is a good way to get her done. Nice, nice. Let me get down and out of the way. So that's why you pattern fish, people, right there, because as soon as we get back on a big old point, then our fearless leader Chris has wrapped up another. Oh, this is like a big one too. Oh, it's a nice one. He's not a giant, but he's a nice one. Now I'm gonna see about being graceful here. Come here, fish. I'm gonna get him to roll over. I want to get him with my right hand, and I'd really like to get the hold of his back. Well, we're just gonna left hand him. Got it. All right. Yeah. Pattern fishing right there, baby. Soon as we left the cove and got back on a main lake point, we got another one. And it's only about 3 minutes or 5 minutes we've been fishing here. And that's 2 on your dynamic swim bait right there. Beautiful fish. Super cool. Look at these things. Scent pours in the top of their head there. Big old eyes. I love pike.
Healthy, big tail.
Big giant
nice
tail. Well done, sir. Well done. Yeah, these things are cool with the big chomper mouths. Even get to open his mouth there. You see they got that big mouth on them, but I don't know, man. It's hard to argue with big old pike like that, no matter how you look at it. We'll get this one put back. Can I let him go for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know you catch bigger than this, but that's a beautiful, thick, healthy fish. What a predator. See you, buddy. Woo!
Oh, he almost
You got to catch that one twice.
I almost caught him twice.
Just letting it settle back like that. You see those little twitches and the bait kind of rises. And we're letting it settle back down to the bottom. Little short twitches, not really swimming it, not really throwing and reeling it like we would do if the water was 50 degrees or something. It's 37 degrees, and so almost working it like a suspending jerkbait, was giving the twitch and pause, and so far, it's all good.
All good.
Fish right there. Nice, nice, nice.
Bloody hand.
I was gonna show you how my hand's all bloody from handling the last pike. And this one very gracefully came up and choked my X-Wrap. Oh, and he's just holding right there. He doesn't want to come to me.
Look at that.
He's just holding right there in that one spot. I don't know how big he is, but after the ones on the swim bait rod, which is such a truck of a rod, it's really hard to tell what we're dealing with down here.
I got you covered on
All right, and if you'll just, here you go. Oh, it's a nice one. Look at this one. Oh, he's still down. Yeah.
We thought he was coming up.
He's not hooked too good either. We're gonna have to be careful with this one. Okay, easy there. Give him line. We're not in any hurry. This is not a contest of how fast you can land pike, rather how gracefully you can land pike. Easy there. If you get bit, your wife's never gonna let me hear the end of it. That, my friends, is why I switched back to the jerkbait. And look, it matches your sweater. Yay. See, that's very nice. We try to be style conscious here. Nice, look at the big old fangs on that thing. Oh, that's awesome stuff right there. I'll tell you what, Chris, I don't know that we're gonna do any better than that. So with that beautiful fish here, and since I'm a bloody stump from the last one I handled, I think I'll let you hold him. Beautiful fish, well done, sir. Thanks very much.
Absolutely, had a blast.
Right here, Kris Johnson. You want to come out and get on a guided trip with him in Navajo Reservoir in Colorado? How do they get a hold of you?
Call me on my cell phone, 759-970, area code 759-4357, or you can go on dynamiclures.com and get a hold of me that way too.
There you go. So there's the guy right there. He has flat put us on him in February. We've caught a ton of pike today in February. We've only been out here 3.5 hours at this point. Hadn't even made the 4-hour mark. And catching them. Caught them on 2 different jerk baits, 2 different swim baits.
Absolutely.
Beautiful stuff. Thanks again,
Absolutely.
sir. Thank you guys for watching us. We really appreciate you watching Fishful Thinker. And there's another beautiful pike. And we really appreciate it. So hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully, if nothing else, I encourage you to get out and try some big baits. Think outside the box. Do some wintertime fishing. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next week. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. See you, buddy. Oh, come on. There's a little love tap right there.
A little kiss?
A little kiss. They got a little kiss. Come on. Oh, bit it on a reel up. Okay. I know how that works. Here you go, buddy. I know your game.
Hook set.
Oh!
Look at how far that went.